How about rents? You had to find an apartment. Looks like you have a pretty nice place there. Is that a one-bedroom studio?
It's one bedroom.
Okay. And
It's
what
one
are
bedroom.
what are typically the rents what do they go for there?
I pay, it works out about $250, $260.
Okay, so today we're heading down to Argentina with my new friend Robert Krajewski. Is that correct, Robert?
Close enough. Krajewski.
Krajewski.
Krajewski, yeah, it's Polish.
Krajewski. I like that better.
Yeah.
That sounds good, man. And well, Rob, man, thanks so much for being a part of the podcast. The first question I'm going to have for you is Cordoba, Argentina is where you live. It's this beautiful part of Argentina that a lot of people don't ever really talk about. So my question, you originate from Poland. Give us a little bit of backstory, who you are and how you landed in Cordoba.
So originally Polish. I born and bred Polish. I moved to UK when I was 17. I lived there for about 20 years. And Argentina, pure accident. I went to Mexico for 3 years. That was 3 years ago. Ended up living a little bit in Mexico, then in Brazil, and then someone took me to, like, my ex-girlfriend took me to Cordoba. I fell in love with the city, and I've been here ever since.
Where did you stay? Where did you stay in Mexico?
Mexico. Well, I've traveled pretty much throughout all Mexico, but most of the time I did stay in Cancun. Like, I don't want to be close to the beach after the weather and being locked up by COVID and all that. I was like, yeah.
How about Brazil? What parts of Brazil?
I love all of it. I think, like, it gets pretty and slightly more dangerous up north, but like the beaches are really beautiful. I love the language. People are absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Like, very crude, very honest. Like, you can just read off the face if they're angry, if they like you, don't like you. Like, you just know it.
Yeah. It's the Brazilian culture is amazing. The people are fantastic and warm, and it's a really unique place. I love Mexico too. People are incredibly warm there too. So let's so Cordoba, you landed there. You said a girlfriend took you there and you fell in love.
Yeah, she was Brazilian. She used to live, so yeah, she used to live there. So unfortunately, that didn't last very long. It's Cordoba capital, because Cordoba is like the whole area outside of Cordoba capital is actual city. But you have a lot of different districts. I mean, the district is Cordoba, and then you have a lot of small cities around the area.
Okay. So you live in a separate city other than Cordoba, or within the Cordoba?
No. So Cordoba is a whole district. So you have a lot of cities. And then you have Cordoba capital, which is where the names comes from.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. So do you live in the Cordoba capital?
Cordoba capital, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. And I was looking at something. Let me see here. I got to pull this up because it's really, I don't know too much about Cordoba. Let me share this.
Show me what you got.
Share the screen here, see if I could find it. It's really cool. I mean, this is just a gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, that's city center. That's here. Pretty photos, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the city is just a really gorgeous city.
That's very
very European looking.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, people have an impression that Argentina is like South America, like third world country. It's crazy European.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, and Robert, what kind of work do you do?
I do graphic design. So I work amongst everything else, like, as you've seen, I do YouTube thumbnails, I work with perfume companies, I do social media, everything I can put my fingers on, essentially.
So how do people get a hold of you if they want to?
I have a website. It's surrealrob.com. All my contact details are there with some examples of my work.
Surrealrob.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's surreal rob.com. Okay. Yeah, we'll post that here so everybody can see it. All right. So when you first moved there, you had to get a visa. What do you know about the visa requirements in
Don't
Argentina?
have to. I mean, depends where you're from, but on most countries, most part, you don't really need any visa. I mean, you can't, well, you get some called touristic visa, yeah? So
Yeah.
you're not allowed to work here. But if you work nomad, if you work online as I do, they don't really like, so it's, you can apply for visa after about, I think, 2 years of being here.
Okay.
And then you get, so it's a DNI, it's like equivalent of social security number that helps you open bank accounts and get work and all that. But other than that, like, yeah, okay, so in theory, you can stay here for 3 months, extend it for 3 months in immigration bureau. In practice, what a lot of people do, they just stay how long they want to, and then they pay about $50 penalty on the way out. And no one really ever cares. That's never been a problem.
So you can stay there for like a couple years and then just pay $50 and pretty much they let it slide.
Probably, yeah. That doesn't change because it's not time related penalty. So like whether it's going to be 2 weeks or 2 months. I mean, you don't want to make anyone angry. So for example, it's got a little bit cold here. So I'm going soon to Brazil for a couple of months. Just to change of space a little bit. I don't know, practice my Portuguese, and as well that way, like, they don't hate me that I'm not completely taking a piss. Let's put it that way. But other than that, yeah, you can just essentially, you could leave. You can extend your visa in immigration bureau, or you can leave every 6 months for a day. I mean, you have Chile, you have Uruguay, Paraguay, you have Brazil. Like, it's not far. You can always go for a day trip and, like, or for a couple of days holiday, cross the border for a few hours and come back.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So it seems pretty easy to just kind of live in Argentina at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How about rents? You had to find an apartment. Looks like you have a pretty nice place there. Is that a 1-bedroom studio?
It's 1 bedroom.
Okay. And what are typically the rents? What do they go for there?
So you have two kinds of rents. You have permanent. So like your contract is going to be between 6 months to 3 years. That one's going to, of course, be cheaper because that's a set price. Inflation doesn't even, like, it's got nothing to do with inflation. It's got nothing to do with anything else.
Yes.
So that's a set price, and that's plus bills. So that, I don't know, between 200 at the moment, I can't. It's about, I think right now, dollar is about 500 pesos. So we can go with, you can probably find something for $200. Problem with that, you probably need to have your DNI, or you have to have a proof of work or something like that to get a kind of long-term rent.
Okay.
Which can be problematic, or you have to ask friends to help you with that, because let's say if they work and they can put it as a, like, their security, that works as well.
Okay.
Or what you do, which is I've done, you just pay month upfront, and I pay. It works out about $250, $260.
Okay. And per month, and okay. And what does that include? Do you have like a common area? Is there a pool or balcony?
Yeah, it's a quite new block. We have a small pool, like it's tiny, but it's there for the summer. It does the job, and we have a barbecue. Well, asado it's called here, but like, yeah, which, like, over the summer we use a lot. That's how neighbors get to know each other, because like when it gets too hot, we all go to the pool.
Okay, so there is a common area where people can gather and you can talk and okay. Awesome. So it sounds like a pretty cool place. Do you have a balcony?
Yeah, I have a little balcony. My bedroom is pretty big. I have like my, what you call it, washroom, my toilet, and like that's pretty much size of my bedroom. It's really nice place. Like, wow. I've been very lucky. I would say normally you would probably pay between 400 plus for something like that. If you do it, because I know, because I paid 400 plus through agency, and the agency, obviously, especially if you're foreign, doesn't matter when you're speaking the language or not, they will give you slightly higher prices, because you make dollars or whatever, euro.
Now, does that 250, does that include any utilities like electric, water?
For me, it includes everything. That's what, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's all in. So I pay about 260 to 70, and I pay nothing else. I don't really worry.
Wow. Do you know, are most apartments like that where you rent an apartment and the
No, most
utilities
apartments actually do you pay
separate?
separately, especially on like temporary contracts like mine.
Okay.
But I mean, listen, you can find that depends how much time you're willing to spend to look for a flat. Because if you're gonna go through 1, 2 agencies, they always slightly difficult. What you can do also, you can go on Facebook. You have groups. Whether it's this country, it always work the same. Whether it's this country or anywhere else, you just check what works best. And you have, for me, it was Facebook group, Aquilares, I can't remember what was it called. And I just like, I looked who offered what. I said, I'm interested, came in, I did spend, I think, about a month looking for it before I got what I wanted.
Yeah, yeah. How much does Wi-Fi cost per month there?
I wouldn't know. I mean, the like in-house Wi-Fi is included, so
It's in,
I don't know
okay.
what they pay.
Okay.
But normally, to be honest, Wi-Fi is always included in the like if you're renting.
Yeah.
When it comes to phone, that's actually one of the more expensive things over here. So like
Oh,
you know, you
wow.
gotta. I mean, it's not like I comparing it. I find it funny that Europe is cheaper with regards to Wi-Fi on your cell and better functioning than whole of the America. Because like in
Wow.
Europe, I paid like $10 for a month, and I had like I could work from my laptop because I had like 200 gigabytes.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I don't know, I might get like 20 gigs or something. And like, you know, it depends as well. Because like Cordoba's got pretty good networking system, but if you go further up the country, like for in the mountains or for a trip, you will have a problem with Wi-Fi or generally calling anyone.
How much you pay per month for the cell?
I don't pay per month, but I'm guessing I would spend like $15, $20 a month. I just top it up in a shop, like it's a top-up card.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then groceries, when you go to the store to eat, how
Mm-hmm.
much do you think you average per month on groceries?
I mean, I don't like I don't save money on food, I put it that way. But I'm guessing like if you I don't always cook because I work and then I want to leave the house. So for whatever I have in the house, like I don't know, some meat, some veggies, few fruits for the morning, probably like $20 a week should be fine.
Okay.
$20, $30 a week should do you just fine.
So you do about 80 bucks a month for a
Probably.
single person.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as far as like,
Oh, definitely not more than that. I think it would be less. Saying that, I quite often I'm lazy. Instead of like cooking something for myself. Let's say I came out of the gym, I'm just gonna go like I'm gonna go to local restaurant. It's not expensive,
yeah.
but it's like I just don't like wasting time. So they have Lomo, so they have some food that is already there because they know I have to get back to work. So yeah.
Okay. And it's and then entertainment, restaurants, the cost of going out, weekly, how much do you spend for a meal, for a beer? Is it
Meal probably will cost you now between, I mean, I don't know, some kind of pasta or some kind of I don't know, chicken schnitzel with potatoes and like that kind of stuff. The average probably about 3,000 pesos. Right now it's about $6.
okay?
A beer about $2, probably less than that. I don't really drink beer. I'm more of a wine guy, but yeah,
How much is a glass of wine?
we just buy bottles. No point of buying glasses. You can get like, listen, you're in Argentina. You can get a good beer pretty much right now all over the world. You can't get a good wine all over the world. Just, you come to Argentina, get a good bottle of red wine. Like
Yeah.
it's still gonna cost you pennies on the dollar, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's great. Okay. So if you had the budget, if you think about Robert going out,
Mhm.
weekly and doing things for entertainment, I mean, what do people do there for fun? And if you had to put a price tag on it, what would it cost typically for a person per month to just
I
entertain
would
himself?
Now it's winter, but like depending what sort of entertainment you look for. Like obviously, I don't know. For example, we'll go with friends, I don't know, once, twice into the restaurants. We'll go on the weekend for a party. Like over the summer, we do travel a lot because you have so many beautiful things like 40 minutes away in a bus. So you have like rivers with turtles swimming around. You can go up north. You have like you can do trekking, paintball. Everything is there. It's very small but very compact city.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not very small, but like very compact. Then like if you don't want to spend money, or pretty much 9 out of 10 museum, like if you want to go to museum, it's probably free entry too. Like
Okay.
I don't remember if someone charged me for coming in and seeing anything.
So
So you have
museums are free.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So that kind of stuff. We've done paintballing, we've done trekking, organized trips. We've done also with by ourselves, like over the summer. I don't know, ticket to Carlos Pass is like little city 40 minutes away, covered with beautiful rivers where you can have a barbecue, when you can drink and swim at the same time. And that costs you about what? $1 one way. It's like a smaller, more touristic part of Cordoba.
Okay. So figure, do you think you spend $50 a month on going out to eat at restaurants with wine, doing some other things?
Probably a little bit more. I probably
Okay.
go probably $100, but I do
$100.
like I do quite go out quite a bit. I think
Okay.
like a regular, yeah. If it's
Okay.
like yeah, if you do it often, such like you should be fine.
Okay. All right. And then transportation, getting around. What
So
is
that's a
that?
beautiful thing in Cordoba. Pretty much everything's walk away if you live in a if you live in the right place. I don't
Okay.
really. Sometimes now it got cold, so sometimes I'm gonna get a cab. And cab's gonna cost me like $4 or $5 if I'm really far away, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes away. But other than that, yeah, it's not particularly expensive.
Okay.
Uh, you have a lot of yellow cabs. They don't tend to try to rob you or anything, as it happens often when you go on holiday and they see you are foreign. You can use Uber too. Just like, oh, I found Uber just like sometimes it was taking too long, especially on a busy night. Like I couldn't get anything.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And so
Uh,
do you think you spend maybe $20 a month on transportation?
Not more than that. Yeah, I would go $20 is
20?
fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Now it's
right.
cold, so a little bit more because I kind of when we go out, I'm too lazy to walk home because it's kind of freezing at night. So I mean, not
Yeah.
freezing, but cold that I'm not used to.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, so I'll get a cup home, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you said that depending on where you live, it's pretty much a walkable city. What are
Mm-hmm.
some of the areas that are really desirable to live in?
So oh, that depends. I don't really know what they like. I live close to, it's called Plaza de la America. So if you look, I probably will be looking at areas of anywhere like there's a city central. So you have Güemes, which is like more of a party district area. Like it's a one long string with all the bars, the restaurants, and so on.
It's called
You
Venice.
have Güemes. It's a German name actually.
How do you, yeah, put that in the chat so I can.
Then you have Buen Pastor. That's you've seen some photos like of the waterfalls. Sorry, not waterfalls. The what they called fountains. You
Yeah.
when you're scrolling through, showing some of the photos. That's pretty much city central. Patio almost where you have all the shopping centers. That's more kind of that's where you have one big shopping center in Patio almost. And is it like that? And then you have city center further up.
Okay.
Those three areas, I can say for a fact that they are really safe.
Okay.
Like if you look for around, yeah, if you look for around here, I heard some stories in like city center, something might be happen. Saying that it's a little bit difficult to judge for me because I'm 191 centimeters tall. I rarely get that drunk that I'm noticeable like for potential people that will try to rob me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I'm not there, I won't be there, I won't be their target. Like they're gonna probably pick some younger girl who's walking with her phone at night kind of thing. So
Sure.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard much and nothing ever happened to me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What you said another name, something Americas, Plaza America or something?
I live close to Plaza de Americas, but that one apparently is dangerous. Nothing ever happened to me, but
All
I
right.
mean, generally Cordoba is safer than the rest of Argentina. I'll put it that way,
Yeah.
because it's a student city. They care, like they quite often rich students of their parents, so parents pay for rent and they study and they don't worry too much and they go out once in a while.
Yeah.
So like Cordoba, it's got nice architecture, lovely people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what?
Pretty active.
Okay. Awesome. So what do you do? What do you do for healthcare there? What do expats do when they get sick and they have to go to a doctor? They have to go into the hospital.
Really depends if you're willing to pay or not. Essentially, you can go for free healthcare as you can go to a hospital if you're feeling bad, whether you're from here or not.
Okay.
I'd probably say go and pay. I would probably say though, like the waiting probably is pretty long from what I heard.
Uh-huh.
It's not expensive though. Like you can go to hospital, pay for a visit, and you're probably better off doing that because it's just quicker.
Okay. Have
They
you
do
had
have a
any
free
issues
health.
with that? Have you gone to the doctor?
I haven't had any health issues per se, but I am getting dental crown in my tooth. So I have a last visit in 2 days.
Okay.
So that's actually interesting. So you can compare the prices. Dental crown costs me $250
For a crown.
for a crown. Yes.
Yeah.
Getting everything clean, everything done by highest European standards I've seen so far. And I've been to quite a few dentists around the world. That includes 3 visits, around 3 visits. On the last visit, they did like a what's it called, like a form to see exactly how would it meant to look and such. And I think they're gonna have it ready for next Wednesday.
Yeah, that crown would cost you about 2,500 here in the United States.
Go.
Crazy.
There you go. Hey, listen, it's in Poland. I asked my mom because I had no idea about the prices of that kind of things. And she said in Poland would cost you about $1,000 too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I did it through friend of a friend, so that he recommended me as a, like don't worry, he's a foreigner, don't overcharge him too much. But still, whatever's the case, even if I paid $300 or 400, like it still would be worth doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there any, so I covered everything that I normally cover as far as costs. Are there any other costs in Cordoba that in Argentina that the viewers may need to know that could be helpful for them that you can think of? Anything else?
Not that I'm aware of cost-wise. I would say probably do learn Spanish because English is not very popular language here. I had a little bit of a hard time at the beginning.
Okay.
So definitely basic Spanish will take you a long way. Because if you only speak English and then you're gonna struggle looking for a flat, you're gonna struggle sorting out some basic needs.
Yeah.
It's not one over here for people when you go to the shop, you start speaking English, they will look at you and go like, I don't know what you want.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you find a friend that speaks really fluent Spanish so that they can communicate for you? Are there people that you could like walk around with and go, hey, let's go talk to the people that are renting this place?
I mean, there's few students. Cordoba is a little bit kind of it's specific. Like, yeah, you have people that speak English, and you have meetings over here. So Wednesdays you have Mundolingo, so-called. Friday, Saturdays you have something called Speak Easy, which is essentially foreigners meeting locals.
Yeah.
Where you can chat, whether you want to practice your Spanish, English, Portuguese, whatever you want. So yeah, there's that. It's just like, if you're moving to a country, especially a city where English isn't very popular, and if you're not trying to learn, you will, like, simply prices wise, your price of your flat is gonna go up, like 30% up.
Yeah.
Price for other bits and bobs will probably go a little bit up just because you can't sort it out, because you can't solve it by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure like people are generally nice and they're happy to help, but long term, if you want to live there, yeah, kind of Spanish will be crucial to at least some basics. No one's asking you to speak perfectly or whatever. Just don't expect, as I did in the past, that you go to a certain country and they will understand what you're saying in English.
Sure. Right. Yeah. So I mean, you're you've been all over the place. You've lived all over the place.
Yeah.
And then you landed in Cordoba. You said, it was really beautiful. But what makes Cordoba special? I mean, when you first get there, what is it about this place that makes it special?
People are super warm, super honest. Like the accent, even the Spanish accent, is like it's called Castellano over here. It's like crazy interesting. I found traveling through a lot of the countries that I always was that gringo, that foreign person. It doesn't matter how long I stayed, whether I knew the language or not. That's all I was to a lot of people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where people in Cordoba, like when they meet you and you follow, it's like it's interesting to begin with, but after that, they just don't care anymore. It's just like, you're one of us, you're one of us. And like, it's completely different feeling over here.
Wow.
Uh, it's a very welcoming city. As long as I said, as long as you're willing to, like, if they see you willing to aprender, if you're willing to learn their culture, the language, they'll pay you back with similar respect, and like you can actually find a good friends over here.
Do you find, are there like squares that people go in plazas where they like this hang out, and there's outdoor little cafes and people just roam like they do in Europe? Are there any of the,
So
any?
what you're gonna find here is, I mean, Cordoba is very popular for mate, yeah. So essentially, it's their tea. So over the summer, I told you it was Buen Pastor, where you have those. You have few restaurants over there, and that's always full with people just sitting next to the fountains and drinking mate and talking all day with the weather. It's nice.
Okay.
Like it's absolutely full. And 9 out of 10 will hold that kind of cup or something similar.
Uh-huh.
With little straw, mate inside, and little thermos to keep the hot water.
Nice.
That's crazy. Like how one, especially non-alcoholic drink, can be that popular. That's how they spend days.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it looks like, I mean, based on what you provided here, rent's 250. We got 270 with utilities, and you got the cell is about 15-20 bucks, $80 for groceries per month. Entertainment, we're looking at about $100 a month. Does that sound right? About 100 a month entertainment?
25. Yeah, probably think so. Depends how much. I mean, listen, there are clubs when you're gonna pay a lot more for entry, and there are clubs, like there are restaurants that are gonna be a lot more expensive. But if we're
Yeah.
talking just going out for a pasta and having a beer, like, you'll probably fit in like 10, 11 bucks.
Yeah.
If you
I
want
mean,
to, if you have a full night out, also with the flat, like, yeah, it was 270 because I looked for it, because I paid time and because I spoke Spanish. Now, if you rent from agencies, or if you're going to be in a rush, it's going to be more like 300-400.
yeah. Well, it looks like your
Yeah.
basic costs are right around $500 a month. Is there anything else, Rob, that you'd like to share before we?
So no, I think we kind of all cover it. Like, it's a beautiful city. People are lovely. It's not overly touristy, so that's always nice.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm surprised more people don't come here, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think when people make that trek to Argentina, because it's so far for a lot of people, they primarily stick to Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
That's the big,
I tell you what, I lived in London for 20 years, and I found over quite a few years of traveling, I found the second biggest city is always best place to go in a
Yeah.
given country. I'm not even joking. Like in Poland,
That's
it's
great.
not. In Germany, I can't remember what's the city called, but it's beautiful as well. Like in every city, the second biggest city, and every country, the second biggest city was always the most fun, the most reliable city. Like, that's what I liked. Also, like, I'm just like, Buenos Aires is cool. I go there sometime over the weekend. Like I have a few friends over there, and it's not bad. It just, everything's far. You want to go out to dinner, you have to get a cab to get to the place you need to. You want to go out to the gym. I mean, gyms, there's lots of gyms, but you want to do something else, you're always going to have to find one or other way of traveling. It's not like you can just like here, which I love. I just put my shoes on, I walk for 10 minutes. I am kind of where I want to be.
Yeah. How far is it to travel from Cordoba to Buenos Aires?
It's like 1 hour and a half flight, or I think it's 8 hours by bus.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what's a flight cost to fly there?
Probably, I mean, depending how early you get it, I probably 50 to $100.
Okay.
That's a little bit that one's a little bit weird because I don't know if you know about the currency exchange over here that you technically have two. One is the official rate, and the other one is when you get twice the money for the dollar.
Okay.
So that's like if you there's I can't remember what they call, but there's so when you can buy it when you're in Buenos, you can go to one of the shops when you can pay for cash for your ticket, and then actually because you have the price. But when you pay with the cards, now there's some sort of touristic, like they have a touristic thing on the cards, but it doesn't always work. Yeah, I would say about probably look at 15 to $100, depending how quickly you do it.
So if you pay with cash, you avoid some kind of tax?
Okay, so I don't know if you ever been, you never been to Argentina,
No,
yeah?
no.
So essentially how it works, like when you come as a tourist, the best way to get money for yourself or best value for money is send them to yourself through Western Union. So essentially you send yourself money and you get, and you go to Western Union and you pick up the cash.
Okay.
Because you can't open bank account over here if you don't have the social security number or national insurance, depending on, you know what I mean, yeah?
Yeah.
You can't really, if you pay with a card, they're going to charge you official rate.
Okay.
Official rate is, I think, 250 something, but dollar, it's so-called dollar blue rate is about 500.
Okay.
So that's connected to history when the banks failed, and essentially at some point they were limited in amount of money they could have buy.
Yeah.
Sorry, limited amount of dollars they could have buy through official rates. So yeah, you have two different rates over here.
Okay.
So I probably would go, I would say, like, don't use your card too much, at least when you get here. Just try to send yourself money, pop into Western Union and grab the cash.
I see. Interesting. That's a good tip right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Robert Krajewski.
Krajewski, yeah, almost there.
Hey, I got it right, man. Thanks, buddy. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and thanks so much for being a part of the podcast and sharing all these tips. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon.
Likewise. Take care.